Welcome to Real Judaism with Rabbi Klapper. Unfiltered wisdom for Jewish life.
Halicha b'drachav, the second of the five things that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants from us. The second one, halicha b'drachav, koilel kol inyan yosher hamidos v'tikunam. This, included in this category, is improving all of a person's midos. Right? Really, with the Mesillas Yesharim, you can be medayik in every single word. Already, I think that Rav Victor Miller, in his introduction, I believe it's to your you don't have it in there, the Rav Victor Miller's introduction, forward. You do have it, right? So in here, he writes that you can be medayik in every single word in Mesillas Yesharim. What? Yeah, he says he quotes here that the Gra is reputed to having stated that he examined the first 8 chapters of the work without encountering a superfluous word.
But did he the rest of the paper did find?
I don't know.
Have you ever checked it?
But he goes on to say the careful reader has full license to interpret every seeming repetition in every case where a particular expression is employed instead of some other expression. So if you look over here in this line that we're reading now, it says, when it says Halicha b'drachav, koilel kol inyan yosher midos v'tikunam. 2 different things: to straighten out your midos, your character, and to fix them. Right? So the Ramchal was known as a great Kabbalist. In fact, probably one of the greatest Kabbalists that we know of. There could be many secret Kabbalists that we don't know of. But of the Kabbalists that we do know of the greatest. And therefore, when we've been medayik in every word, there are probably a lot of very deep meanings in each one of those words. But just as a pashut pshat, just a very simple explanation, what's the difference between yosher hamidos v'tikunam? Meaning yosher hamidos makes it sound like straightening out, and tikunam means to fix. So some midos are off by a little bit. They're off by a little bit, and they need to be straightening out. Some of them are outright crooked. Some of them are just off completely, and those need to be fixed. Meaning sometimes when you have a situation where it's not exactly the best, you can live that way, but it could use a little bit of an improvement. And there are other things that really need to be fixed. It's really, you can't live like that. So we have to be careful when we're working on our avodas Hashem on both. Now, every person obviously has to know that you have to choose which things you're working on first. You can't be working on everything at the same time, because if you will, you'll just give up. You're just going to give up. Right? Like we said, tafasta meruba lo tafasta. Very good. Don't grab onto too much, because then you end up grabbing onto nothing. The point that he's bringing out over here, I believe, is that both things need work, but not that you should actually be doing them both at the same time. That you have to, maybe with a guide, with a mentor, with a Rebbe, with whatever, try to work out, like, what should I be working on now? Like, which ones are the most important things to work on? But it's not to say that other things are not important. Even little things where I can make a little bit of an improvement are also significant, and they also fall into the category of halicha b'drachav, of improving our midos. V'uma shebe'ernu. This is what the Gemara in Shabbos explains. Mahurachum afatarachum. You have to be like Hashem. Just like Hashem is merciful, so too we should be merciful. That is how Abraham Avinu taught Torah to the masses, to the world. He said, Olam chesed yibane. Hashem created the world based on chesed. He was a giver. Hashem is giving, so we should be like him too. And that's why Abraham Avinu is the avodas chesed of Klal Yisrael. He is the pillar of what it means chesed in the world, and specifically in Klal Yisrael, because he modeled after Hashem. He modeled after what Hashem. The Torah has already been called many times. The whole Torah is kulo chesed. The beginning of the world is chesed. Hashem gave clothing to Adam and Chava. The end of the Torah is chesed. Hashem buried Moshe Rabbeinu. The middle of the Torah is also chesed. We find Hashem did Bikur Cholim. He came to visit Avraham Avinu when he was sick. Well, not sick necessarily, but he was recovering from his bris milah. So we see that there was nichum avelim, that the Kodesh Baruch Hu came to Yitzchak to be menachem him when his father Avram died. So we see that a Kodesh Baruch Hu has these midos, so we should have those midos too. Oh, not just that. Excuse me. It's not just in the beginning. Also, it's not just that a Kodesh Baruch Hu gave clothing to Adam and Chava, but he was involved in Haknasas Kala. He actually got Chava dressed up nicely, whatever dressed up. She did her hair because he was presenting her to her chassan, and that was Haknasas Kala as well. So we see that these midos of a Kodesh Baruch Hu are in the Torah itself. So we should learn from a Kodesh Baruch Hu. That's what Hashem wants. That's what it means. Halachta b'drachav. The klal kol zeh she'inag adam kol midos v'kol minei pulos al pi yosher v'musar. A person should act in a way, all of his actions should be straight, and they should be based on the proper guidance of the Torah. Like it says, Shema mini musar avicha. Musar means like a direction. It has the same word as a moseira. A moseira is the reins. When you're on a horse and you want to lead the horse, so you have the reins. What's the word for reins in the brought in the Gemara? A masira means to guide. And that's why a moiser, somebody who is tattletale, who tells on somebody, he's guiding the authorities to a certain person in order to get into trouble. That's what the word musar means. It's a guidance. We're guiding you to try to find the right path. So all of the things that we do should be guided with thought. We shouldn't just be doing things because we do them. This is something that most people, they don't spend enough time thinking about it. Just, I am the way I am. Somebody would ask them, why do you act like that? That's the way I am. That was Esav. Esav, in this week's Parshas told us, it says that Esav was born as if he was complete. That's why he has the name Esav. He was kvar asa. He was already made. He was hairy like he was already an adult when he was born. He was born ready. Right? When people say, I was born ready. No, you weren't born ready. Everybody is a work in progress. The only one who was born ready was Esav. Because Esav says, that's the way I am. I don't need to improve. I am the way I am. Don't change me. Don't try to do anything. I am the way I am, and that's it. I was born this way. I was born red. What do you want from me? That's the way I am. That's the taina against Esav. The taina against Esav is from David HaMelech, who was also born red. And being born red is a siman that you're going to be a rotzeach. You're going to be a murderer. So Esav says, that's right. That's exactly who I am. David was also born with a similar complexion, red. Did he become a murderer? No. So how did he use that to fight that nature, that form of a bloodthirsty type of nature? He used it to fight wars for Klal Yisrael, bring a kiddush Hashem. Even Chazal tell us that people who are born with this type of nature, what should they become? Because they have this in them. It's part of their tzeva. It's the way they're born. They should guide that towards avodas Hashem. They can become a moyel. They can become a shoichet. There are different avodas that they can do in order to bring kiddush Hashem. Yes, you were born with a certain nature, but we have to guide that nature into the proper avodas Hashem. We have to know to use our avodah the right way. That's what we need to do. It's not poshut, and it's not easy, and it's certainly challenging. And everybody has born with a different nature. Every single person, like some people, you look at them like, why can't that guy control his anger? I don't understand. What's wrong with him? Because you were born with a different nature than him. Why can't that guy spend a few extra shekels? Why does he have to be so cheap? Again, that's a challenge of his nature. It's not an excuse. People who use it as an excuse are using it the same way Esav used it. And that's the way I am. No, we're given challenges and we're born a certain way. We have to use those midos that Hashem gave us the right way. That means to guide them, to use everything that we do and guide it in the right way. Everybody is born differently. We have to take what we're born with and use it in the right way. And if a person doesn't know how to do that, they should ask for help. And you can ask for help sometimes somebody who doesn't have that nature, or somebody who does have that nature and was successful at turning it around. Yeah? This is what it says in Pirkei Avos, Kol shi tiferet lo oseh v'tiferet lo min ha'adam. Dahainu, all that is tiferet lo oseh, meaning something that brings glory to Hashem, and it brings glory to man, meaning everything that we do should be make a kiddush Hashem. People should look, wow, that's a person who learns Torah. Dahainu kol ha'olech al tachlis ha'tova ha'emitit, dahainu shotoldoso chizuk ha'Torah v'tikun achva v'medinas. Everything that we should do should be focused. That what comes out of it should be strengthening the Torah and strengthening also our love of each other. Ben adam l'makom and ben adam l'chaver. Everything we do. That's a big part of our avodah. People don't take enough time to work on their midos. They don't take enough time to think about, like, how can I improve over here? What can I do better? I see that what's become famous is like anger management. Because anger management, even in the secular world, you just can't function if you're behaving in a certain way. So they have to be able to learn how to manage their anger. But is anybody going for narcissism for tipul, right? To go, is anybody going because I need to work on my midos? Where are people working on their midos? Is there any place in the world where you can go to work on your midos? The base measures, that's where you go. That's where you're going to work on your midos. Because here we have a place where this is the Torah in our focus, and we try to apply that. Yes, outside in the world is where the application of that work is going to be. But where can we work on it? We can work on it here. We can focus on it over here in the base measures, and it's dafka over here that a person can grow. And if he becomes accustomed to it inside the base measures, then I'll start to live it outside the base measures too. So we're going to stop over here. Torah.
Thank you for joining Real Judaism, where we explore Torah's wisdom for real life. Created by J Foundations and produced by Eli Podcast Productions. Find more episodes at realjudaism.org and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.